TIFU by trying to be a good neighbor. So this happened about 3 weeks ago, and I've been too embarrassed to post it until now. For context, I, 28M, live in a duplex. My neighbor on the other side is this retired teacher named Carol, mid-60s, genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met. She bakes me cookies at Christmas. She watched my cat when I went to my cousin's wedding. You get the picture. About a month ago, Carol mentioned offhandedly that her grandson was coming to visit, and she wanted to fix up her backyard, put out some string lights, maybe plant some flowers, make it nice. She's on a fixed income and said she was just going to figure it out slowly. I told her I'd help. She protested, I insisted. We agreed on a Saturday. Here's where I messed up. I wanted to do something special, so the Friday night before, I decided to surprise her by getting a head start. I figured I'd clear out the overgrown section along the fence, bag it up, and at least have the hard part done before she woke up. Sweet, right? Neighborly. Maybe she'd cry a little. The good kind of crying. I went out around 9 p.m. with a headlamp, gloves, and garden shears I'd borrowed from my other neighbor, Dave. It was dark, but honestly, not that dark. I got to work. For 45 minutes, I went to town. Snipping, pulling, bagging. I was sweating. I was committed. I filled 3 giant yard bags. I felt like a golden retriever who just brought home the world's best stick. Then Carol's back porch light flicked on. She stepped outside in her robe, squinted at me crouched in the dark next to her fence, and just screamed. Not a little yelp. A full, operatic, neighbor's windows lighting up scream. I ripped off my headlamp and shouted, "It's just me, Carol, it's Mark!" Which, looking back, is perhaps the least reassuring thing a man in the dark can yell at a screaming woman. 2 more porch lights came on. Dave leaned out his window. It took about 4 minutes of me standing in the open, hands raised, Carol with her hand on her chest, before the situation fully de-escalated. Then she looked at the bags. Then she looked at the fence line. Then she started crying. Not the good kind. Those weren't weeds. Those were her dahlias. She'd been growing them for 3 years. They were supposed to bloom for her grandson's visit. She had names for some of them. I spent the next 2 Saturdays helping her replant, drove 40 minutes to a specialty nursery, and paid for everything out of pocket. Carol has forgiven me. She even brought me muffins last week, which I think means she's forgiven me. But her grandson definitely gave me a look when he visited. I also gave Dave his shears back. He asked if there was a story behind the scratches. I said no. TLDR, tried to surprise my elderly neighbor by gardening at night, destroyed 3 years of prized dahlias, and got screamed at loud enough to wake the block.